Hello, friends. My name is Marky with Capricorn Crafter. Sorry, I'm a little bit off. This is my first video, and I'm using my AirPods as like my microphone, and I keep hearing myself in my headphone. So it's kind of throwing me off. Sound like I'm drunk, but I promise you I'm not. So let me just try to fix something. Give me 1 second. I don't know if it will let me because I don't know what I'm doing. Uh, yeah, I guess not. Okay. Excuse me. Sorry. I don't know where that came from. Alrighty. We're gonna try this and see how it goes. I'm gonna try to ignore myself talking to myself in my headphones, and that's gonna take me some time to get used to it. But we're gonna do it. So let's try this again and not be so weird. God, this is gonna be weird. Okay. Ignore the voice talking back to you. So my name is Marky. Oh, duh. Just turn myself down. Does that work? You can still hear me, right? Okay. Well, let's try it this way, because if you can still hear me and I turn myself down, that makes it a lot easier. Gosh, sometime I am not so bright. Okay. If you stuck around for that, thank you. This is my first YouTube video, and I'm very nervous, but whatever. Um, so today's Wednesday, and I'm working on a whip, which it's WIP, which is a work in progress, and um, I'm usually do graph GANs, which is like a corner to corner type thing, but this one's I tried is different. It's Tunisian. So it looks like the back of it looks more like it's being knitted. Oh, there's some dog hair. Sorry. But the front of it is like um, a different type of crochet stitch, but it kind of gives it more of like a knitted look. And this is what I have done so far. It's supposed to be Santa, like a gnome with snowflakes and whatnot. So there's like one of the snowflakes that I've gotten done. Here's part of his hand. This is his other hand that I'm working on. But let me see if I can move you because I have it open on the computer here. And I can show you what it's gonna look like. I got this pattern I'm testing this pattern for a group that I'm a part of. Excuse me, it's called the Crochet Couch. And I'm a pattern tester for them, or at least I try to be, but it always seems like whenever I pick a pattern, like I try to give myself 3 months to be done, and it's always longer because life happens. Um, I'll show you I don't know if I should. I don't know if I can share there. You know what? I'm not going to share it only because I don't know what the copyright is on it. Um, but it's going to be like a gnome. Once I'm done with the blanket, you'll see it, but I don't want to show you the picture of the pattern because I don't know what rules are for that. I'm gonna have to ask them about that. But anyways, it's gonna be a gnome. He has a black and red plaid hat. And then the background is the blue with snowflakes coming down. So once I'm actually done with the blanket, I can show you that, but I'm not going to show you the picture because I'm not sure if I'm allowed to. So that's what I'm working on. I'm in a little bit of a different setup because I'm in my office. Normally, when I'm working on this, I'm sitting on my couch crocheting. And I decided I'm gonna finally start a YouTube channel and see how it goes. And I'm gonna have like a bunch of different videos that I have. So like Wednesdays, I'm gonna try to dedicate to whips, which is again, like I said, work in progress. And then like other days, I'm gonna have different things. So welcome again. I think I've already said this like a gazillion times, but my name is Marky with Capricorn Crafter. And I've had a Facebook page for a while. Haven't really been active on it. Been trying to do more with it. Um, excuse me. But sometimes my crafting gets sidetracked with life. And as much as I would like to craft like every day, all day, and whatnot, it doesn't always happen. But I'm trying to make this like a routine thing and try to take like orders and make things. So I'm a crafter. I crochet. I sew. I started off sewing with quilting. I actually started with making pillowcases and got into quilting. Have done that for a little while, on and off, trying to do more of that. And now, the lady that taught me how to quilt, I am working with her on learning how to tailor clothes. She works for a tailor shop and she does all types of like alterations and tailoring of clothes. So, like, if you need something hemmed, if you need stuff fixed in your clothes, she is your go to lady. Now, the guy she works for actually owns the shop, and then she just does like the sewing and the actual mending of the clothes, and I think he does too. But he has her doing stuff, and so now the tailoring that I'm learning, that I'm getting started with, is replacing zippers in clothes. And well, let me tell you, it's been fun. I'm trying to stay in focus here for you. Um, I think putting in just a general zipper is easy, but when you're looking to replace the zipper, the garment's already done and made. So like um actually making the clothes and putting the zipper in is probably no big deal. But when the garment or like a coat or pants or whatever is already made, it's a little bit more difficult to do the zipper, but I'm getting there. I'm to the point where I just did two sweatshirts on my own the other day, and I was like so proud of myself. So now I have like, which tomorrow I'm probably gonna make a tailor with me. Well, I'm gonna call it Tailor Thursday, I think, and you can sit with me while I take out some zippers. Um, but I hate working with black yarn, and this stitch is super tight. This is the first time that I've ever done, it's called a Tunisian stitch, but it's also called like the Afghan stitch, I guess. And this is like the biggest project that I've done in this stitch. And so I'm still kind of learning. Like, I knew the basics of it and whatever, but like the color changes and whatever is new because the stuff that I've done before were like dishcloths. Ouch. And God, that is tight. And it was one color. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. You can come with me because I have my earbuds in, but I gotta run out to the other room quick. Um, what was I saying? Oh my God. Oh, but this stitch is somewhat still new to me. And crocheting while making a video is more difficult than it looks because I have like this tripod in front of me, and so it's in front of me where I normally am working, and my arms are outstretched where normally they're closer to me. Um, and I was trying to look through the camera while I crocheted, but it was a little bit too far away. So now I'm kind of like have this tiny window where I can see what I'm actually doing, like just underneath my camera, in between the camera and um, the tripod. So it's yeah, we're gonna see how this works. But anyways, I do all kinds of crafts. So I crochet, I sew. Told you a little bit about sewing. Um, so I've been doing that, and then I also have just started. It's something new to me. I used to do like a little bit of cross stitch, but some of those projects were like took forever. Where am I going? I'm going with the blue. Okay. They took forever, and some of them had such fine detail and extra stitches that I found this thing, and it's called diamond painting. So if you've heard of that, leave a comment down below. But it's called diamond painting, and it reminds me of an easier version of cross stitch because basically you have the canvas like you do with cross stitch, and the diamonds, like the diamonds that you're painting, are like I've been calling them like, even though like plastic beads, I guess you could say. That's how I've been using to what I've been using to describe it. But they're like plastic beads, and each color has a certain number, and so you have this canvas, or not number, yeah, the beads have a number, and then on the canvas there's a key, and on the key is a diagram, and it has like a symbol next to each color, and then that way you know what color to use for what symbol. So we might do that like on Mondays, maybe. So um I originally, sorry, this first video is going to be like a little bit of rambling of just like what to expect and whatnot. um So originally, my plan a while ago was to start a YouTube channel for left-handed crocheters because I don't know if you've noticed. No, the camera is not flipped, but I am left-handed and I'm a left-handed crocheter. And my original plan a while ago, like many years, several years ago, was to start. I hope I'm staying in frame for you guys. Sorry if I'm not. I'm trying not to like bump the tripod while I'm working, so hopefully I'm not. But a while ago, I was gonna start a YouTube channel for left-handed crocheters, and I have like a bunch of different tutorials on different stitches and how to make things and whatever. And I just never knew, like, I've had different books that I was gonna use like to reference and whatnot. Oh gosh, I'm probably making you guys seasick. I'm so sorry. I'm trying not to bump it. Um, but I just not I didn't know how to do it, like how to get started or whatever. So that kind of went to the wayside. And the only reason I was going to do it was because I know that there's a bunch of crochet channels out there on YouTube and everything, and there are ones for left-handed crocheters, supposedly. But I noticed that on the ones that were for like left-handed, like all that they did was flip the camera angle to make it look like they were crocheting left-handed, even though they just made the same video, same audio, same everything in the right-handed version. Now, I know that, like, what's the point? Like, there's a lot of time that is put into making these videos, um, with like all the editing and whatnot, but like, I just kind of felt like cheated. Like, I didn't feel like it was authentic. Like, this is, yeah, it looks like they're crocheting left-handed, but they're really not. So I just kind of felt like lied to, I guess. I don't know how to explain it, but whatever. So, so that was my original plan. And then, so, but then I never did anything with it. Then when I decided that I wanted to try this diamond painting thing, which I am like new, like a couple weeks ago, I went to Joann Fabrics, bought a canvas. They come in kits, so you have the canvas and all your beads and everything. And then I was like, well, looks simple enough, but let's go on YouTube and see if there's any tips and tricks that are out there or like anything. And I came across this channel called, oh God, gonna put me on the spot now. I want to get it right. Um, but I came across this YouTube channel. Oh, excuse me, my gosh. It's called Mrs. Coffee. And she's kind of inspired me to do this. So she has a lot of videos about diamond painting, but then she also has crochet videos. And a lot of her videos are just her sitting and talking to a friend, like just you and I, like we are here, sitting, talking, working on our projects, and talking about life. And I was like, oh, well, I never even thought about doing a video like that. I wonder if anybody would even listen to it. So it's she's on YouTube. She's Mrs. Crochet and Coffee. Um, if you're into like any types of crafts, she does a lot of beautiful diamond paintings and some crochet stuff. So thanks, Mrs. Coffee. Well, she's Miss Coffee, but the her thing says Mrs. So, so yeah. So I was like, well, if she can sit and work on things and talk about life, and people out there are listening and watching. I mean, she has 46K, 46.6K subscribers. I'm just looking at her page right now. I mean, I'm not looking to get that many, but if I get a few here and there or whatever and people are interested, well, why not? Let's give it a try. And probably a lot of my videos are just going to be me just talking. Like, I have been dealing with a lot of anxiety lately, and it's something that's new for me, and so I am currently not working because of it. And I never know on a day-to-day basis, like, how controlling my anxiety is going to be. I mean, it's getting better. I had I'm calling it an anxiety attack back in March that really freaking freaked me out. And wasn't necessarily like a panic attack. It wasn't like I couldn't breathe or anything, but the doctor said it was more anxiety related. Um, and I've been trying to work on that. So, like, now every Wednesday, oops, sorry, every Wednesday I go to therapy. So I had therapy earlier today, and I was kind of debating if I wanted to start this today because I'm like, well, do I have a good enough setup? Um, I mean, what do I need to record? I know I need a camera, and I have like a digital camera, like a, oh God, I don't even remember the name of it. And I tried to, when I was going to try to make videos, I was going to use that camera, and I had the tripod and I had everything set up, but I couldn't find, unfortunately, with the camera that I have, um, you can't add a microphone to it. It has one built in, but unless you're like right on top of the camera while you're filming or whatever, the audio quality on it isn't very good. So I was like, well, that sucks. I bought this nice camera. We've been using it for pictures and whatnot. And it takes great pictures, but the main reason that I bought it, and it was kind of like a purchase. I didn't really research it enough. Like, I should have researched it some more, but I just figured, well, a camera's a camera. It should be able, um, it's a digital camera. It should be able to do this. It should be able to do that. And I didn't have like a ton of money to spend. And I mean, it was still expensive, but I should have looked into it more to see. But that's my fault. But now we just use it to take pictures and whatever. Um, but half the time we just use our phones anyway, so I don't even know if it was worth it. But anyways, um, oh my God, I'm all over the place today. So I was talking about my anxiety. How did I even get onto that? I don't remember. I'm sorry. Anyways, um, oops, sorry. So yeah, I've been dealing a lot with anxiety, and I've been at home, not working, um, trying to focus on healing myself. And I hope you guys can still hear me okay, because it says that my audio input is low. So hopefully you can still hear me. I don't know what that means. So I've been at home doing stuff, you know, trying to be a housewife. And I was like, well, I was thinking about starting a blog, but then I'm not very good at writing. And I mean, I am, but I'm not. So, like, I just wasn't into that. And then I came across Miss Crochet and Coffee and learned how to diamond paint from her. And saw like one or two of her videos, and now I feel like I'm a stalker because I've been going through all of her videos from like her first video to I don't even know where I'm at. And she started like 5 years ago, and I'm learning about her and her life. And I was just like, well, she can do it. And 5 years later, she has all these subscribers. Maybe I can do something. I can craft and talk about my anxiety and help somebody that might be going through the same thing or that wants to learn or whatever. There's all kinds of people that need help and don't know what to do. And if I can just share that life experience with them, it might be able to help them. So here I am welcome. Hello, friend. So yeah, um, definitely leave me some comments down below after watching and just let me know like what you want to see. So my crafts that I do are crocheting, quilting, and diamond painting. Just I've tried to teach myself how to knit, and I can pretty much cast on, but that's about it. And I don't know if it's because my brain is different. Like I always feel like I'm backwards because I'm left-handed, and left-handed people's brains are different than right-handed people, if you didn't know that. We are in our own little backwards world, I guess. Um, so yeah, leave some comments down below. Let me know what you want to see, and we can go from there. I guess this first video is going to be pretty short because I felt like I had so much to talk about, but I'm kind of like all over the place, and I don't want it to be like too crazy. Um, I'm sure the first part of this video, like, you were like, oh my god, who is this person? Why is she drunk making a YouTube channel? But now that I freaking turned down the volume on my earbuds, it's much better. I don't sound so stupid. Um, or so, I don't know, maybe that's the wrong word. I don't know. I'm very hard on myself, and I think it's something that I'm also working on because I beat myself up a lot. Ask Deb, who I'm working with, who's teaching me how to tailor and do zippers. Like, I beat myself up a lot. I'm very hard on myself, and I think a lot of people are. I don't remember if I did this the right way. But I beat myself up a lot. So I guess I can go into a little bit about me. Oh, my elbows are like sliding on the desktop, and it sounds like I'm farting, but I'm not, I promise. I gotta take a break. I've been having a lot of problems with my hands lately when I crochet, and I think it's because I always have a tight grip on everything. I need to learn how to relax my hands a little bit. A little bit about myself. I'm left-handed. Um, I have a husband. We used to have a dog. We had to have him put down in July, and we're both still really grieving from that because he was our baby. He was our first dog as adults, and he was like for each of us, and it was our first dog together. So it was like our baby. My husband and I have been together overall a total of 11 years. Um, he's a construction worker. Well, yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Um, let's see. I don't know. I live a pretty boring life. Well, here, I'll tell you a story about how my husband and I met each other. So actually, we've known each other probably from kindergarten. We went to we've been in the same school district, both of us, he and I, since kindergarten. Kindergarten through high school, same school district, same probably classes, like when we were younger. Knew each other in middle school and high school. He was the football player, I was a band geek. Knew of each other, but didn't really like hang out with each other. Like if somebody would say, "Oh, do you know so and so?" "Oh yeah," one of those types of deals. But like our groups never hung out together. Because I was kind of like I would call myself like a floater in high school, I guess, because I kind of felt like I fit in with like a little bit of everything. I wasn't necessarily the total band geek, but like I don't know. I kind of hung out with like everybody a little bit, or so tend to think so. Um, so knew of each other in high school, graduated class of 2005, so that'll tell you how old I am. And later on in life, ran into each other at a oh my god, festival for the town that we both lived in. Now, I I lived in a town on the outskirts of the school district. So like my best friend right down the road from me, she went to a completely different school than I did, even though we lived in the same town. And the school line, I guess, or the school district line went like right between our houses. So she went to one school district and I went to another. And I was on the outskirts of this town. Okay. And so and it was like a little inky dink farm town and it was starting to grow a little bit. And when I graduated high school, we moved not too far from where I used to live, but the little farm town that I lived in, my grandmother was on the village board. And I'll get to that, my grandmother here in a little bit. Um, I guess I'll tell you a little bit. I don't want to tell too much, but you have to know some stuff. So, anyways, so my grandmother was on the village board, and when we moved, um, she could no longer be a trustee of the village that we lived in because she was outside. So, my husband's dad actually took the trustee position that my grandmother had to give up. And like once a year, they have a town festival, just like, everybody has like carnivals and stuff. Well, we were in a little farm town and we don't have carnivals, but we have um, a place that hosts us and like the whole town. And she would still get invited to these festivals because she was one of the original trustees of the town. And even though when we moved, she was no longer a trustee, she was still part of the planning commission because we were still within that area, I guess, but we weren't physically in the town. Okay, kind of confusing, but whatever. So I remember going to this festival and I saw my husband and I'm like, oh, grandma, that's so and so. I went to school with them. She's like, well, why don't you go say hi? I'm like, oh, no, he won't remember who I am. Whatever. And eventually I did go say hi to him. He was up in line, I think, getting food. And so I went up there and I was like, hey, do you remember me? We went to school together. We graduated together. He goes, oh, yeah, hey, how you doing? And so we talked a little bit. And I think that was like right when Facebook may have been getting popular. Like, I remember having a MySpace page. It might still even be out there. I don't ever remember deactivating it. I would hope that after a while, I don't even know if it's still around. But that was like MySpace was almost like the uh, Facebook, like before Facebook was around. I mean, it wasn't as popular as Facebook has become, obviously, because I don't think anybody knows who MySpace is anymore. But Like, I was still getting used to Facebook and whatever. So we became Facebook buddies, friends, whatever. And then I remember from that point on, like we were messaging each other, and then I think that following, because I think the festival was always in the fall, and then I think that following May, Mother's Day is in May. That following May, uh, we went on our first date. Like, we were talking back and forth on Facebook for a while and whatever, and exchanged phone numbers eventually. But that following, now this is the funny part. We don't we know that we started dating in the month of May, but we don't know the exact date. Like, we know that it was May and what year it was, but neither one of us can remember the exact date. And the only way that we know it was in May is because his parents had a pontoon boat, and they would always put the boat in the water like around Mother's Day. And our first date was a boat ride. So we knew that much. Um, but we just don't know what the exact date was, so whatever. Um, so yeah. And then now 11 years later, here we are, married and loving life together. I could not, at first I think like we were young. Well, I guess, I don't know. We were both 25. So, but it's been fun. We've gone through a lot together. A lot. And I'm very proud of the man that he is today. We've both come a long way, and I think that we both complement each other. Like, there's things now that I would think that, like, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be where I am today, and vice versa. Like, we both complement each other very well. We're supportive of each other, and we push each other, and we also, like, we're each other's best friends. We communicate, like, that's a big thing. Like, communication nowadays with partners and spouses, or just in general, I think, a lot of people don't have that. And we talk about anything and everything, and there's times where we sit and it's quiet, and we give each other space, you know? But I think that's like a um healthy relationship. We're not afraid to, like, if he says something or I say something, we're not afraid to hold back, like, what our thoughts are. Like, well, what do you mean? Or let's talk about this. Like, he was telling me one day that some coworkers of his, that they were complaining, like, oh my god, my wife this and my wife that and my person this and my person that. And he's like, dude, what are you guys talking about? And he's like, my wife and I, like, hardly ever fight. And they're like, really? And he's like, yeah, because we talk, like, we communicate, we talk about things. If there's something that one of us says that, upsets us, like, we talk about it. Like, how can you be like fighting all the time, or, you know, and it's like, yeah, you can have disagreements and whatever, but you shouldn't, and we do, but it's not like we're at each other's throats all the time. Oh no, what happened? I don't know why this keeps happening. My light just went out. Sorry. Yeah. I don't know why it keeps doing that. I don't know if I have, like, a loose cord. And I know I keep stopping. It's because my wrist, like I said, my hands have been acting up a lot lately. And my wrists and my, like, especially this thumb, like when I first started doing this stitch, I had an issue with this thumb where like I would wake up the next morning and I had to actually like look it up online. And it first started with like, I think it was this knuckle, and my thumb would be like pushed back. Or no, it was this knuckle, and my thumb would like literally be pushed back, and I would have to like pop my knuckle back into place. And then it came down and like moved into this knuckle, and I don't know. So I wore a brace for a while, and I hadn't crocheted for a while because of it. And now that I'm trying to do this within the last few days, I have to like take little breaks because it starts to, my hands get tired. And usually I crochet a lot faster, but like I said, I'm not in my normal setup and whatever. So, anyways, back to my husband's story. So I just think that like we both aren't afraid to speak our minds. Like I used to be, like I used to hold a lot back, and because I always felt like growing up that I had to kind of, if I ever, I don't know, felt like I always had to watch what I say because, I don't know, it was just difficult for me to express how I felt. Like if I would get mad, I would cry. If I was sad, I would cry. If I was happy, I would like everything just was crying. And there would be times where I wanted to like just say what I wanted to say and like speak my mind, but I knew that it would not go over well. So then of course I just had to put my tail between my legs like a dog and just walk away. So I don't know. But now I feel like after being with him for so long, I've kind of become my own person and who I wanted to be. Like, I don't know if that makes any sense. So, anywho, so I talked about my grandma before. I um, was raised by my grandma and I guess my step grandpa, you could call him. Um, they had custody of me since I was 4 years old, and my step grandpa who helped raise me passed away when I was young. I think I was in like third grade. So he hasn't been around for a while. So it's been me and my grandma for a while, and my other family lives in a like my mom and my brothers and sisters. They all live in a different state. And I'm not going to get into that because I don't feel like sharing all that right now, and I don't know if I ever will be because this is YouTube and there's some things that I want to keep private. So, yeah. But that's a little bit about me. So, I was lucky enough growing up, to be raised by my grandparents. And I also had my great grandparents around for a little while I was growing up. So, I've always been around old people. Um, and that's why, like, when I was younger, like, before crochet became popular as it has nowadays, um, I felt like I was the only teenager that really knew how to crochet. Give me 1 second. I just heard a weird noise and I wonder if my husband's home from work. Give me 1 second. Sorry, guys. Huh. I don't know what that noise was. So I always used to make the joke that because I was taught how to crochet, at a young age that I've been an old person at heart, because not only was I around these older people most like growing up as a child, like I've always been around old people. Um, my great grandmother is the one that taught me how to crochet. And you may have seen some posts here and there that I've done about my great grandmother. The only thing is that when she taught me how to crochet, um, again, I'm left handed. And so she would try to teach me, but I was little and she didn't have a lot of patience because I mean, I could get the chain part down because normally with any type of crochet project, you always have a chain that you start with for most of them. Sometimes you start in a round, but a lot of them start with the chain stitch. And she'd always be like, well, you twisted your chain, or your tension's off, and this and that. But she kept trying, and I think I made a dishcloth that was supposed to be a square, but it turned out, sorry, I keep hitting the thing, I'm trying not to, sorry. It was supposed to be a square dishcloth, but it kind of turned out like bell-shaped because somewhere along the way I added stitches. Couldn't tell you where. But then as I got older, I kind of like taught myself all these other different stitches and stuff. So I was taught the basics, but then like all this graph work that I do, I kind of taught myself how to do it. And I've made some good stuff. I just got done. So I think I mentioned them before, but I test graph patterns for a company called um, the Crochet Couch, and my husband and I he hung out with his buddy, but we just went to a baby shower over the weekend for his buddy, and I think I've made this pattern like 3 or 4 times now. But I'll post a picture of the blanket. But it's a Graphghan, and it's called Baby Cycles, and it says eat, sleep, poop, repeat. And I just think it's like the cutest. Like it's it's like the perfect size for a baby, and it's like, well, and I just think it's like the most cute. Like it's such a cute pattern. And before when I've made it, it's always been with like baby, like I think I made one for my sister and she had a girl. So I had like pastel pink and white and like a light gray. Well, it didn't really like because it was such pastel-y colors. I mean, it turned out okay, but it kind of all just kind of blended in together. And sorry. And this baby shower that we went to on Sunday, I made it for them, but they don't know what they're having yet. And so I was like, well, crap, how can I do a blanket for them? Well, I guess their color scheme, there's like orange in it, like retro orange. And so I found like an orange color and um, like not a charcoal gray. Oh, let me see. I have it sitting right here. Hold on a second. What color gray is this? Oh, it's like a heather gray. Here, I can show you the colors that I made it in because I still have it sitting. The colors here. Um, sorry. These were the colors that I used for it. So this is like a burnt orangey type, I guess you could say, a white and a heather gray. And let me tell you, this blanket, the colors of it just popped, and it was amazing. Like before I've made it and it's been fine, no problems, but like this time around, it was like, oh my God, it was so perfect. I don't think I can add in the picture right now. I'll probably have to edit it or whatever. But yeah, it was so cool. But wow, it's already been 50 minutes of me just rambling. Holy crap, on a cracker. All right. Well, I didn't get much crocheting done with you on camera, but I think I'm gonna go finish up some more of this and definitely leave me comments down below, please, and give me like different ideas of what videos to do. Like, what do you want to see? Um, Let me know. I want to make videos that you're gonna watch. So instead of just me rambling, unless that's what you like, because now that I'm home more, like before I used to have Trigger and like I don't know, it was at least something like somebody home with me. Like yeah, I could talk to him and you know. But now that I don't have Trigger, I'm like, all right, well, I guess I can go crochet and watch TV. And I do other things like I go out and do errands. Like today I said I had therapy. I'm doing a load of laundry. And I do stuff around the house, but it's just a way for me to like talk and fill the silence, I guess. So it's not like I'm not doing anything. I'm still doing something. So, but sometimes it's nice just to be home. So, alrighty. Well, I'm glad this video turned out better than I thought it was going to, and it wasn't like all weirded out by the microphone, and I figured out how to like turn down the feedback because that beginning part of this was like rough. Hopefully you made it past that. But happy Wednesday, and um I want my videos to be real and authentic as possible. Blah, 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 blah. Um, Authentic and as real as possible. So I don't plan on editing a whole lot of them. Now, like if something happens, like the dryer just buzzed in the background because I am doing laundry, um, where I might have to stop or whatever and then cut the rest of the video in, or if I start talking and I talk more than 2 hours, because I think that's the 2 hour limit that I have to record on here. I think I'm still getting to learn this video equipment. Um, then yeah, videos might be sliced together, but if you're listening to me more than 2 hours, I hope it's something worthwhile, because that would kind of be boring. But anyways, um, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave me comments down below on different topics that you want to see. Please give me ideas on what to talk about or what to do. Thank you to Miss Crochet and Coffee for inspiring me to do this. Like, if I wouldn't have seen any of your videos, I would not have known that this would be an option, because usually all the videos that I would watch were like tutorials. It wasn't just people sitting and talking and talking about life or talking about whatever. So um I hope this finds you well. These videos that I plan on posting are going to be a little bit about crocheting, a little bit about crafting, me and dealing with my anxiety and different things that I have learned that have helped me along the way. And anything that I mentioned, I'm going to post down below. So, like the crochet couch that I'm a part of, Miss Crochet and Coffee, um, I will post them down below. So, if you ever want to reference them, you'll have it. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and yeah, we'll talk to you in the next video. Bye. Bye. Yeah, I'm kind of weird sometimes. I'll try to post a video of me, um, but mostly this is the view that you're going to be seeing is me working on stuff. So I was gonna do like an intro video and be like, "Hi, my name's Marky," and have like my hair done and stuff. But I was like, I don't feel like doing that today. But then if I want my videos to be real and authentic, then what does it matter what I look like? Because I don't do that half the time anyways, unless I'm going out and doing something. So, yeah. Anyways, all right. Talk to you guys later and have a great rest of your day. It's sun shining here today. Last night was trick or treating, and I felt so sorry for the kids because it was like snowing and, you know, in Illinois, it's kind of weird for, I mean, a couple years ago we had snow on Halloween, but it's never been nice on Halloween. Even when I was a kid, it was always raining or cold or whatever, but last night was brutal. So, alrighty. Happy November 1st. We'll talk to you later. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.